In Glasgow's bustling streets, people brush past signs of Scotland's drugs crisis. Hidden in plain sight, in alleyways and undergrowth.
There's a homeless hostel there, right?
Yeah.
And
Jamie's a former fisherman who spent years addicted to heroin.
shot up in car parks, between cars, playgrounds, anything. You know what I mean? So it's like,
When you're doing that,
right.
what are you thinking? Like, I could die here, there's nobody around.
No, you're thinking, I want to get the monkey off my back.
We meet a mile from Glasgow's city centre.
That's it there. See the one with the shutters down, right?
Yeah. Down a side street, near industrial units and a supermarket, this is where the UK's first drug consumption room is about to open. Do you think this place is going to save lives?
Yeah, undoubtedly it will save lives.
From next week, people will be able to inject their own drugs inside this building with clean equipment and without the risk of prosecution. While empty, it can be hard to imagine what sort of service it will offer. So we travel to Switzerland, which has some of the oldest drug consumption rooms in the world. In the heart of wealthy Geneva, right next to the train station, you can't miss this one. Quai Neuf, Platform 9. Designed to stand out in lurid lime, it's been running for more than 20 years.
So here every morning we've got food distribution happening from 9:30 to 10:15. So people who use drugs can come to the gate and be served hot coffee and snacks here in the morning as a breakfast. And then from 11 o'clock the actual center is open. So that's when people can come into use the drug consumption room. People come in here.
The centre is run by a non-profit organisation with funding from the state.
So people come in and the first thing they do, of course, welcome and say hello, is to empty all their needles and syringes and things that they have in the material.
The centre then provides clean equipment.
So then you get a ticket here. So this is the one for snorting. This is the one for
Okay, it's like a
smoking.
raffle ticket
Yeah.
almost.
It looks like a raffle ticket,
Yeah.
exactly. And then it's like at the post office with numbers over there.
It's not unusual for more than 100 people a day to use this service.
So there are 6 spots here for injection. And they can be as quick or as slow as they want or need to be.
But there are new challenges to adapt to. Geneva is facing a crack cocaine epidemic. There's a smoking room here, something Glasgow's service won't offer when it opens. Inside it, Ludovic and Matt Guyve agree to let us film them use it. They've been coming here since they were in their late teens. The atmosphere is relaxed, a respite from the streets.
Oui, voilà, on est plus tranquille, serein. Puis au moins, on fait ses propres.
Ouais.
On a le matériel à portée de main.
C'est plus pour se cacher des autres, entre guillemets, pour montrer c'est des enfants.
Have you ever had a lethal overdose in this centre?
Absolutely not. Never, ever.
Do you think this centre has been a success, and how do you judge that success?
So saving lives was the obvious one. Reduction in HIV transmission and all of the rest. So that's one element of success. It's a pragmatic approach. It's one that there is a problem. People will always be using drugs. So it's recognizing that and creating this space where then people can speak, they can talk, they can potentially go into treatment as well if they need that.
How many times a day would you use the consumption room?
Some days it's 4 or 5 times I go in. Sometimes it's just once a day.
Peter is a former athlete who uses heroin and crack. He was one of the first people to come to this centre when it opened.
This place, it's saved my life from the years many times. So sometimes I was in the injection room and I collapsed. If I was alone in my flat or outside, I surely did.
The staff who work here are trained to resuscitate. Didier runs an overnight shelter. What advice do you think Geneva could give to Glasgow?
Beaucoup de courage, beaucoup de patience, beaucoup de résilience, beaucoup d'avoir une équipe bien solide, beaucoup d'empathie.
Right across the street is Oliver's Cafe. He supports the work of the centre, but says it has brought unwanted consequences.
This is a strategic place for what they do. It is perfect, I understand that for them, but for the neighborhoods, it's a little bit complicated. And most of the persons that take drugs most of them are not the problem, okay? It's all that behind.
So the dealers and the wider...
Yeah, sure. From this cafe, we see people dealing, people fighting. I will be personally very happy if that moves, but it will only change the problem to another place.
Geneva's consumption room has helped remove drug paraphernalia from the surrounding streets. Back in Glasgow, that's something health workers here hope can be replicated.
Well, this alleyway, as you can see, is just off of Argyle Street, so one of the busiest streets in Glasgow.
John Campbell works for the NHS, providing clean equipment to drug users through a local pharmacy. There's a strong smell in this alleyway.
Yeah, what you can probably smell is human excrement. And we've really noticed that since people started injecting cocaine, well, injecting cocaine causes bowel rush.
He shows me a new spot he's found, just 5 minutes from Glasgow's main shopping streets.
OK, so if you come through here, but watch your feet, there's a lot of uncapped needles lying on the ground.
John backs the new consumption room as another way of trying to reduce harm.
You can literally see the scale of use that happens in this site.
But believes because it is less central than the one in Geneva, its reach will be limited.
I think people will choose to use the facility. Other ones will have to encourage to use the facility. But we know it's unlikely that people will travel some distance.
It's taken years of political wrangling to get this approach off the ground in Scotland, the country with the highest rate of drug deaths in Europe. Few expect this to be a silver bullet. The hope is for a significant step forward.